Hello, beautiful people. Once again, welcome to MDC Vlogs, where I bring day-to-day activities, inspiring story, culture, entertainment, business, and everything happening within our African diaspora's community. Today, I'm excited because I'm here with a very special guest, an amazing woman who's making real impact through dance culture and community empowerment. She is the founder of Universal Dance Destiny. Everybody help me welcome Edna Africa Idelle. Idelle, welcome to MDC Vlogs.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Edna, as you said, Edna Idelle Stevens, and I am known on Facebook as Edna Africa Idelle. And then I also have another page called Choreographer Edna Lioness, you know, like a lion, because the lion is strong.
Yep.
And I'm the female version of that lion. I am a professional choreographer, and I also founded a company called Universal Dance Destiny in 2004. So I've been in the game for a long time, and I am also born in Liberia. Came here when I was 7 years old.
All right. Came here, you were 7 years old. Well, that's amazing. This is what my channel is about, to share travel stories, experience, to be able to empower and inspire other people within our community. The opportunity to actually have you on here to share some of your travel thoughts and your experience with my audience. And because of that, I do have a few questions,
Sure.
to ask you through this interview. My number one question to you here, first of all, I want to say, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, and I'm so grateful for the weather. This is Minnesota, so the weather's nice. If you can relate, you know, weather's nice. I like it just like this. I wish it could stay like this.
For sure. For people watching MDC Vlogs,
Yes.
who may not know you yet, who is Edna?
Okay, first of all, I gotta give credit to God. So I'm a little God baby. I'm a God's girl, someone who's very passionate about the Lord, because He's the one that's given me this gift. I discovered that I was gifted in dancing when I entered a pageant at age 6 in Liberia, and whenever you're in a pageant, you have to do a talent. And my mother and father and family didn't even know I could dance. This is how I know this is a gift. So they asked me what I wanted to do. I wanted to dance. And then when I did, the entire audience, their mouths was like, especially my mom and dad, because
Right.
I never went to dance school. So I am known as Edna the Dance Queen.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
So, what was life like growing up back home in Liberia?
Yes, very good question. I want to say that, I am very fortunate to have been given the opportunity to come here at such a young age. When I left Liberia with my family, it was during the time of that coup. This was a very, very, tough time in Liberia. I'm sure all the Liberians know what I'm talking about.
What year did you guys move to the United States?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go. I think it was in 1981.
1981.
Yeah, that's a long time, right?
And you never been back?
Never been back.
Wow.
But let me tell you,
That's
I
amazing.
have my tickets bought.
Yep.
I was going to go to Liberia. I was so excited. And that was right at the time that Ebola broke out. So I was very saddened because, I wanted to go to Liberia. And they ended up rerouting, because I was going on a mission trip with a Christian organization. And we had the tickets, we had everything. And then they said we couldn't go to Liberia. They rerouted us to Senegal.
Wow.
So I was sad, However, here's the good news. I don't want to jump the gun because I don't want to skip details. But I am planning to go to Liberia very soon. I was invited by the National Troupe of Liberia called Malawala Balawala.
Okay.
Ran by K. Kamara. And I saw them recently in February in India, and they invited me to Liberia. So I'm working on that right now to get out there.
That would be an amazing thing to do.
Yes.
So when you first got here, what was the culture shock like?
Oh man,
in America?
I'll never forget it, because again, I was 7. First of all, you know us Liberians. I know people are like, oh, she sounds American. Don't worry, I got my accent. That would never leave me. But one of the culture shocks was our accent. My accent was so deep. A lot of the kids, I was in 3rd grade, some of the things, they didn't understand me. I'll give you one example. In Liberia, when we want to use the bathroom, we say, the pee-pee is jamming me.
Right.
So I went to the teacher and I was like, the PP is jamming me. And she said, jelly? I don't have any jelly. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to pee on myself. But yeah, so some of those things where, you know, Liberians, we used to slangs, you know, and those slangs are not understood by Americans.
By everybody.
Yeah, it's not understood.
That's the struggles we faced with when we first came myself.
Yeah.
So growing up, did you always know dance would be part of your life?
Yep, I felt it in my spirit. Like I said, that time that I got a chance when I was young, about 6 years old, to do my talent, and it turned out to be dance. From that day, I just knew that God had blessed my feet, because, you know, taking it a little bit back, the quick version of what really happened to me when I was a baby and starting to get to the age where you should walk, I couldn't walk. Wow. I started talking before I walked. So the people in the neighborhood told my mom and dad, hey, just give up, because this girl is going to be crippled. You know, she's not going to walk. Look at her. Look, she's even talking. And then I saw some candy, and my dad, you know, had the candy. My dad said, if you want this candy, get up from your butt, stop crawling, and come here. And believe it or not, that is how I started walking. I started holding on to any table, anything that I can see. And little by little, I reached my dad. So that is an inspiration I want to give everybody, that in this world, there's nothing we cannot achieve if we do not get up and work towards it.
Yep, that's a fact. And that's something that we all needs to do. Get up and go do what we wants to do.
Don't just talk the talk, but walk the walk.
So my next question to you is, did your family support your dream from the beginning?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So again, my dad was a huge inspiration in my dance career. When I wanted to, you know, to do dance classes, my mom was kind of like, because, you know, again, in like among Liberians, healthcare is huge. We all know that.
It's expensive.
A lot of Africans, not just Liberians, they want to be nurses, you know, they want to be doctors and nurses and things like that. So that's the area my mom wanted me to go to. Okay. But my dad believed in me, and he convinced my mom. He said, well, let us just try. So they signed me up in a school called Miss Janet's Dance Studio in New York. And I started going at age 7. And God bless my brother, who is no longer with us, but he used to take me there and pick me up. And I studied ballet, tap, jazz, and modern dance.
Wow. That's a good thing too. So tell us about Universal Dance Destiny. What inspired it?
Amen. Well, when I was 24, about 23 or 24 years old, I went on an audition in New York. And it was an audition to go to Korea to do an event, a huge festival called the World Culture Expo in Gyeongju, Korea. Wow. So I went to that audition, and there were so many people there. And I said to myself, I said, what can I do to stand out? Back then, I'm still in a lot of shape. You know, I make sure I work out. I see my muscle. But back then, I was like, I got to do something that's going to just stand out. When it was my turn, they called me up. I started dancing on my head. Because I was like, there's all these people here, and I have to do something that's gonna make the producers and the directors and the choreographers, you know, make me, you know, say, she's the one. So anyway, I did get casted, and I was part of a team of 20 Americans. Wow. But at that time, you know, I'm Liberian too. That went to Korea. So when I got to Korea, it blew my mind. In that festival area, there was so many different countries. You turn here, you see, you know, Zimbabwe. You turn there, you see, you know, Ukraine. And all these different countries inspired me. I said, oh my gosh, I mean, we performed, everything went great. But that's how I started my company, Universal Dance Destiny. Wow. Because that gave me the inspiration that we are all different, that come from different countries, but we have a universal connection. That's amazing thought. So, I mean, and you still, you know, impacting people in our community. So what's the mission behind what you really do? The love of the diversity of people. So Universal Dance Destiny speaks for itself. I mean, the name says it all. Yep. Again, Universal Dance Destiny. You know, dance have a universal way of connecting people. Like, for example, let's say you have some people from Asia, you have some people from Africa, and you have some people from Europe. And I've seen it at that festival in Korea. I literally saw people dancing that did not even speak the same language, but they were able to communicate because of the music, because of the dance and the music. And I mean, it was so powerful. I even saw relationships happen through, you know, that type of connection. So what's behind it is the love of diversity, and also knowing that we were all created by this one a beautiful God that, you know, created all these different cultures.
My next question to you again will be, what has been the hardest part of building your brand?
Okay, that's a good question because for me, I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate and I have a resilient spirit. So, um, you know, I believe never quit, never give up. Um, the hardest part is meeting other people that don't have that same passion.
Sure.
That's the hardest part because it didn't stop me. You know, I've seen so many people come into the game of like dance or entertainment. They come before the year is up. They're already done. They finished. They didn't last because they didn't have that passion.
They didn't have the passion.
They didn't have the, yes. Everybody who is successful, you will notice in any craft,
in any area,
it's because they have passion. No passion, you won't have anything. I mean, I have performed on MTV. I have performed on BET. I've been in music videos with P. Diddy, Biggie Smalls, Little Kim. I mean, I've done so much in my craft because of my passion. You know, I mean, and the list goes on. In Minnesota, I've also become very successful here because Minnesota is big on theaters, and I've performed at mostly all the theaters here. So I really feel grateful.
I've been following you for like almost like 5 months now.
Okay.
And I saw you on the Fox channel, you know.
Yes, on the news. Yes, that was a complete honor.
Right. So my next question here is, what has been your proudest moment so far?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's nothing like going to Africa and being welcomed and performing. I have been invited in 3 African countries to perform. One of the biggest one was Nigeria. You know, although I'm from Liberia, you know, Nigeria, that's like our brother.
Right.
When I went to Nigeria welcomed me in such a way that it was like unbelievable. So 2 things I did there. They had me teach at 3 schools. Wow. And you know, our people, okay, they brought like the whole school. And I was able to teach all the kids dance. But the one that never, ever, ever left my heart is when I had the opportunity to perform for the king of Edo. Oh, okay. See, in Liberia, we don't have kings anymore, but Liberia, they're
and that's
big.
A state in Nigeria.
Oh my gosh, yes. So they were doing a coronation at the time where the new king was coming up, and I had a chance to perform for that. And that was, I'll just never forget. I'll never, it just, my mind was like, wow, to see like, even that type of wealth. You see, a lot of people think Africa, people don't have money. You haven't seen wealth. No. Like the wealth that's in Africa. Even Trump. Yep. When I got to the house where we was, I couldn't believe it. It was massive. It was this massive place. And I was just blown away. I mean, the opportunity to perform for a real king. Right.
It's something amazing.
Yeah.
So my next question to you, what message do you want young African girls to hear from you?
Yes, the main one is your foundation. You should always have a foundation of God, okay? There has to be like a spiritual foundation that's going to give you that push, but also kind of keep you grounded, because we live in a world where there's a lot of things, a lot of distraction and negatively. So by being grounded spiritually, it will help you in your growth. And then my other thing, again, I go back to dedication and passion. You know, if you want to do something, because you're going to always have pushback. You're going to always face negativity, jealousy, envy, or people just trying to discourage you. Let that be what pushes you.
I'm one of the example here. So
yes.
So my next question, again, it will be, why is it important for you to represent African culture?
Amen. Amen. You see, I'm even representing Africa right now.
Every day.
In fact, this was created in Nigeria. A regular white beater, a regular T-shirt.
A regular T-shirt.
A regular T-shirt that the guys wear.
And the custom made.
Got it custom made. Oh. What, $10? That's another thing I love about Africa. Everything is cheaper there. But yeah, you know, for me, God doesn't make mistakes. He didn't make me African and a Liberian by mistake, first of all. That's another reason why I celebrate my natural hair. You'll see me rocking all the natural looks. Why? Because the last time I checked, I'm brown.
You see?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking. You see what I'm saying?
That's my brand. You see?
In fact, I do want to talk to you for this showcase to get you a table here. So let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah. But because
It's very important to be natural. Or identities, when your back is turned, they know that's a black woman.
Man, you see?
We don't bash people. We celebrate with people who embraces that true
Exactly. That's what it's about. I'm an advocate for black women, black girls to embrace exactly what you said. Embrace who you are.
Right.
We weren't created by mistake. Celebrate, who you are. So every month I get a new African hairstyle. So follow me. You'll see it on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. Every month I put a
like I said, you are doing great. Like I said, I'm inspired. So my next question to you today will be, what is the funniest thing that has happened during a performance?
A performance?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I got two short ones. Okay, one time we were doing a big show and I had this ponytail and the ponytail came up and I took it, I worked it into my and threw it in the audience, and believe it or not, people was fighting for my ponytail. Just dance classes, we're not just entertainment, we're not just performance, but we're a movement, and I want to take this movement worldwide, and it already has. I have performed in Haiti, in City Soleil.
Yep.
I had a dance battle in City Soleil, Haiti, and it was all in good fun. But I won when I came out with the snake and started doing my little snake moves. They were like, oh, and just taking it one country at a time. So if anybody want to join me on this mission, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm looking for people who are passionate, because though dancing I haven't been aging. People are like, Edna, what's the secret? It's dance, believe it or not. However, I want to train the people after me to continue this movement.
Wow. What an amazing conversation. Yes. Thank you, Edna Africa Idelle, for sharing your journey with the MDC Vlogs.
And can I say a little bit about the showcase coming up? I do want to remind everybody, Universal Dance Destiny, 19. I didn't say 1, I didn't say 2, I didn't say 3. 19th. I've done this 19th time. I can do it with my eyes closed. A celebration of diversity. We're going to be showcasing the connection of how Africa influenced America. Come through. It's going to be right here, 2601 2nd Avenue in Minneapolis. There's street parking all over. Come and see an amazing array of talent. May 30th, okay? Wow. I want to see you all there.
So your story is powerful, inspiring, and reminder that our culture, passion, and purpose can open doors.
Yes, definitely.
So everyone's watching, make sure to support her, work with Universal Dance Destiny, and do not forget to follow her on all major social
YouTube,
platforms.
Universal Dance Destiny, TikTok, Rhythm Empress, Instagram, Universal Dance Destiny, Facebook, we have a Universal Dance Destiny group page, but I'm also Edna Africa Idelle, or choreographer Edna Lioness. Follow me everywhere.
Right. So it was really nice having you. Before you leave, is there any message for our community, for everybody's in the diaspora community?
Sure.
And please give a shout out to MDC Vlogs.
Of course. Always support people, especially your own. In the African. Always support, because let me tell you, there's a blessing that comes when you support others. So I'm going to support you, you support me. Thank you. Shout out to this gentleman right here. It's been an amazing interview, and I pray that this interview would inspire those, not just Africans, but worldwide, to continue to push.
Thank you. It was nice having you.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you again.
Oh, yes. We'll do it again.